from BeingMommywithStyle, and today I wanted to do a chatty vlog, kind of a catch-up vlog since we got home, and reintroduce you to day in the life vlog. So we have been doing day in the life vlogs, and we'll be doing them probably at least 4 or 5 days out of the week. So that's a complete change from what we were doing, but obviously life has changed a little bit. So we are in Alabama currently, and all of our schools closed last week. They actually were going to close midweek today. Today was supposed to be the last day of school, and then they were going to close. But then they changed that midstream over the weekend, and they just said, no, we're closed. You can come in on Monday and pick up things from the kids' lockers, drop off library books if you want. Originally, we were supposed to be able to check out more library books, but they actually closed that down in the middle of the morning and before we went over there, so we didn't, check out any new books. And that was just it. So, the past couple of days I think have been processing for a lot of people. As of right now, the time that I'm making this video, I'm working from home for the next couple weeks. The kids are off school for the next couple weeks in Alabama. Currently, schools are supposed to be closed until April 3rd, so they're supposed to be going back on April 6th or 5th. I can't do math. 6th, I guess, and that's the current state of things. But obviously, things are changing so rapidly. I mean, who even knows 2 weeks from now? So I thought I would make a kind of update vlog and kind of talk about some of the things I've been thinking about that I don't really want to just have immersed in day in the life vlogs, and I guess just kind of check in and see where you're at. So I've been posting in BeingMommywithStyle, my group, private group that's on Facebook, just kind of check-ins there. One post when it first started, just kind of like, check in, what is everyone doing? And then also like a number post that was like, where are you at in the scale? And it was really interesting because it was like 1 through 5, and like 1 was like everything is the same, and then 5 was like complete lockdown. And so it was really interesting because I have people that follow me from all over the world, and the people that were in the UK were still saying 1 or 2, and then most of the people in the United States by that point for that post were saying like 3 or 4. And then now, like I think New York's gone on a complete lockdown, and I think San Francisco. So there's certain parts of the country that have even gone to like a 4 or 5. So it just seems to be changing rapidly. And I think even though I have been following this since January on social media, just because I'm on social media a lot because of what I do for work, because I do social media for work, I realized that it was very abnormal to have the amount of videos and the types of videos that were coming out of China in January. And typically if you're in China, you'd use like Weibo or WeChat or something that's specifically made for Chinese users. And I was starting to see all these videos and all this stuff leaking out of China on Twitter for about a couple weeks before it finally got stopped. And it was, really abnormal. It's all the videos of like the hospitals there and people falling over in the middle of the street and all of that. And so I was seeing this and I was going, this is not normal. Obviously we had that trip planned for going to Disney, which we did end up going to in the middle of February. And it was like a little bit heightened concern. We had ended up buying face masks and extra like wipe things, and I brought extra medicine with me. And at that point, I think the only cruise ships that had gotten quarantined was I think 1 or 2 ships over by Japan. So it was a slight concern. If it was like a major concern, if the Grand Princess would have happened by then, I don't think I would have gotten on the ship just for the idea of being quarantined on a ship. But we went, and luckily, knock on wood, everything was fine and made it home. And then about 2 or 3 weeks later, things started going crazy here. And I just kind of had this sense the whole time after we got home, just if it was impending. So I slowly started stocking up. Every time I would go to the grocery store, I'd buy little things ahead. One day when I was there, I just had this really strong sense, and this was in February, I was just kind of like, just grab some extra water gallons just in case. And, it's never a bad idea because we're in tornado country anyways. So I grabbed those and put those back. But I just have had this sense this whole time that it was impending. But that doesn't take away any of the shock. I mean, the day that things just started going crazy, when like Disney closed, when they announced that they were going to be closing and stuff started closing here, that was definitely the most surreal day. So let me just preface this by saying I'm going to try to keep most of my videos happy-go-lucky and whatever, because I think that's what we all need in this kind of a time period. And I'm going to share our learning that we're doing at home. The girls are learning at home, so of course I enjoy that. I'm planning on sharing some of the hauls that I've gotten coming up too. But this video today, this is why I kind of wanted to do it as its own video. Like, I kind of wanted to just think out loud about the reality of the situation. So fortunately right now I'm able to work from home. My husband's working from home as well. He does engineering for a company, and the plants are still operating for those companies at this point. And then he's on the engineering side. So, you know, it's one of those things where we lived in Detroit in 2008, and it feels a lot like that. Well, it's obviously worse than that even. That was the interesting thing that we were talking about, is like any time that these really bad things have happened to us in our life, it's been more like specific, narrowed down. This is more like everyone. So that's different and interesting. And that's the other new part of our reality, is that everyone's here all the time. And trust me, like, I love having more time with everyone. But oh my gosh, like, I'm one of those people, like that little moment of like just being able to drive in my car on the way to work for 30 minutes in the morning. Like, I really enjoy that time, and it is interesting not having that anymore. I mean, that was one of the parts I really enjoyed about going back to work, is like having that adult moments. But anyhow, we're homeschooling, and that part's going well. The struggle is multitasking, working from home full-time with homeschooling full-time. And then, you know, there's some clashes there because I need to be doing things for work and editing for work, but then I have to stop and take a break because I've got to get them started on a new activity. And so it's just the bouncing back and forth. The homeschooling is very enjoyable. I think that we could honestly do that if that was like all that I was doing. I feel like I could do that indefinitely. It's fun, it's enjoyable. I enjoy finding the resources, I enjoy doing it. Luckily, there's been tons and tons of resources shared. And so I'm trying to reshare those out on my Facebook page. So if you're looking for resources, go over to my Facebook page, and I'm trying to share out, you know, webisodes that people are sharing, and free printables, and any sorts of, you know, things that I find that you can utilize. One of the biggest things that has been amazing is museums or places that have like 20-minute or 30-minute episodes that I can get a block of time to do something. Because even though my kids are older, like, you know, I can get them started on something, and as soon as I get back and try to get in the middle of something, someone needs something. And it was like, I don't even remember this being this bad when I was a stay-at-home mom, because they like would sleep for long blocks of time, and I could get a lot done then. But anyhow, I think, you know, as time goes on, it gets a little bit easier each day, so that's good. Shout out to y'all in Kansas, because they just canceled their school for the rest of the year, and I would be straight up panicking if I was in Kansas. So if you're in Kansas, comment down below what you're planning on doing, how you're managing that, and all of that. But that kind of brings me to the next point for this video, and it's like, so, you know, my husband is the main earner in our family. I think that's pretty apparent, and everything in our, you know, budget and everything is based around him being the main earner. And I've talked about that in other videos. So, I mean, we could survive and be fine and make it, but, you know, the reality is that if anything drastic like that happens, or if people are not able to go back to the place that I work at a museum, it relies on people being able to come visit. So 3 weeks is manageable, but if this goes on longer than that, the reality that I have been thinking about a lot is, you know, what is the likelihood that I would get laid off? And I think a lot of people are thinking about this right now. So that's why I wanted to talk about it in a video. And I mean, the reality is I have business degrees. I understand from a business sense that they're going to have to do that if this goes on long term. I mean, there's no way you can pay a large amount of employees if you can't have people visiting your establishment. I mean, that's just simple math. I think anyone can figure that out. So I'm just trying to prep. I mean, obviously the nice thing is that if I'm not working or if I get laid off, we don't have childcare. So that it immediately takes huge expense away right off the top. So that's super, super helpful. I really enjoy working and I really love my job. And I would really hope that if I did get laid off, obviously for business purposes, that they would bring us back on and when it got to a point that they could. So I'm not super stressed about that because, you know, I feel like I bring value in the position that I'm in. I just understand that a short-term layoff is probably a reality if this goes on for a while, and trying to mentally prepare through that. I think that, you know, the homeschooling part I can easily focus on for a longer period of time. I'm going to be very sad if the kids can't go back to school because they love it so much, and we've had a really great year up to this point of the year, and you know, I'm just going to have to wait and see. This could just be 3 weeks and then that's that. But I'm not going to lie, Kansas canceling school through the end of the year panicked me, because I was like, if that happens here, I mean, we're done. We're over. Like, that's it. I mean, I love my job, but if school gets canceled, there's not going to be, you know, the after school care stuff going on, with summer labs is what like the summer one's called. So like, that's it. Like, that's end game. What happens then, you know? So anyhow, obviously, like I think everyone else in the country, we're playing it day by day, ear by ear. I don't know. You know, and just hoping for the best, and I'm just preparing for otherwise, you know, because that's all you can do. I mean, luckily, you know, we're in a great spot, but I'm also very stressed out about what happens to everyone else, because I've been in a lot of places in my life where I have not been in the spot that we're in, and I'm very concerned about people. I mean, that stresses me out a lot, and I know that there's no reason I should like stress myself out, but I'm so concerned about people that what are they going to do? Because like when I was in college, I worked 3 part-time jobs to get through and be able to pay my bills. And 2 weeks lost income would have severely set me back. A month of lost income, like I don't know how I would have lived. I mean, I depended on that income coming in when I was in college to be able to survive. And I know that there's a lot of varying scenarios, you know, single mothers or, you know, just if you're just starting out in your career. I mean, we were in a very different place when we were just starting out in our career, and having no, you know, like 2 months of no income would have severely impacted us. And I'm just so stressed out about what are people going to do that are in that situation. At this point, they are talking about doing some sort of economic stimulus package. There's not been anything that's passed, and I'm definitely in favor of something like that, because you know, I'm just stressing about that, because I'm thinking about all these different points in my life where, you know, I've been in great financial positions or really good financial positions in my life, been in really bad financial positions in my life. And not even just for my own making. I mean, I don't talk about this much, but my parents got divorced when I was younger, and I went from having a very comfortable lifestyle to my mom obviously was a single mother and was trying to do the best that she could on one income. And, you know, it was very, very tight. It was very tight. And I just think about people in that situation and what would they do if they didn't have income for a month? It just completely stresses me out. So anyhow, I want to be a helper as much as I can. I mean, I don't have buckets of money that I wish I did that I could just throw out and help people. But I feel like the best way I can help is share our experiences, share resources that I find, you know, share some positivity. I want to do some movie parties and just some fun, lighthearted stuff. I know this video is not fun and lighthearted, but I just want to share things that are helpful. I feel like that's really the only thing that I can do, and it's kind of the best that I can do to try to get myself through the situation and possibly help other people too. So, wow. I mean, oh, that's the other thing that happened today. I got on my like Facebook memories or whatever, it popped up that we were arriving at Disney World today a year ago. And I would just like looked at that this morning and I was like, wow, how much things change in a year. If you would have told me a year ago when I was on my way to Disney World, that Disney World would be completely closed, potentially, you know, indefinitely for a while, but at least for 2 weeks, I don't think I would have believed you like a year ago if you would have told me that. but now it's, you know, reality. So here we are. Let me know down in the comments below where you're at. Let me know if you're in Kansas, what you're doing. I mean, I have stress for people. So I'm just so stressed out for people. But let me know how I can help. Let me know what videos will be helpful. So I'm going to be sharing some of the hauls that I got off of Amazon with some of the different learning and craft items that I got. I'm going to be sharing our learning at home resources as we go along. And we'll be doing day in the life. So you can see that we're all in this together. And this is what we're all dealing with. It's very unique because a lot of the very traumatic situations I've had happen in my life, it's just been happening to me, you know what I mean? Like, or just a centralized area in Detroit, it was happening in Detroit. When the car hit the house, it was just us. Other things that have happened in our life, it was happening to just us at that time. And it's like, this is now happening to everyone. And that kind of freaks me out a little bit because it is kind of an emotional roller coaster. I mean, I feel like we are doing pretty good right now, but I'll tell you right now, anytime that you have something like kind of just really extreme happen to you, and it's happened to us a number of times in our lives, like there's ups and downs with it. There's ups and downs. And so the thought of like our entire society going through that at one time, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I have stress for everyone. So anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this vlog up. Trying to keep the rest of them sunny, so I just wanted to kind of get all my panic thoughts out in this one vlog, and we can just talk it out in the comments. And I should have brought coffee or something in here with me, but that is where we're at right now, and obviously things change, so I may have a hash it out vlog by next week that's completely different. But hopefully you guys are well, hopefully you're safe, hopefully you're stocked up on essentials, and I will see you guys in a day in the life vlog very soon. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.